Sure what she's won, Bob. Why, she's won room for new shit. The Spiritual Shitshow podcast with Suzanne Sole, episode number 10. Hello, you gorgeous motherfuckers, and welcome to the Spiritual Shitshow podcast, where we get into the whirlwind of a shit show the healing and spiritual awakening journey can be. I'm your host, Suzanne Sole, comedian, lifelong spiritual student, and I'm sharing some of the supercalifragilisticexpialidocious shit I've learned along my journey that has helped me and that I hope helps you too. All right, let's get into this amazingness. It's New Year's Eve, the perfect day to celebrate making it through another year, reflecting on the ups and downs, wins and losses, and the chaos of the past year. And maybe, just maybe, opening your mind to letting go of some of the old worn-out baggage that's been dragging your ass down shit river. In this episode, we're talking about letting go of old shit to make room for new shit, and why letting go of old shit is so fucking hard, and some ways we can possibly make it less fucking hard. But I thought that was too long of a title. Yes, my darlings, it's time to release all the crusty, stale-ass energy that's been squatting in your life like an unwanted roommate who never does the dishes. And yes, I was once that roommate. But we're changing, we're evolving, and we're gonna keep that energy going. So we're evicting that old don't feel like doing the dishes me, because, you know, how can you welcome in shiny new blessings when your spiritual sink is filled with emotional dirty dishes? Spoiler alert, you can't. But y'all, letting go is hard AF. Whether it's that relationship that didn't work out, that thing that happened at work last year, the friend who betrayed you, a toxic ex, a soul-crushing job, or the one pair of size 1 skinny jeans from 1999 that you keep around just in case you're able to get into them again. And P.S., it's okay to just love your delicious ass self as you are right now, you sexy motherfucker. Anyway, what I'm saying is we cling to old shit like it's the last Cabbage Patch doll in the store on December 24th, 1983. So why is letting go of shit so hard? Why do we cling to people who don't love us, jobs that make us miserable, and stories about the past that hurt us every time we replay them? I'll tell you why. Because sometimes pain feels safer than change. But listen, it's not your fault. Fact is, we're wired to fear change. It's true, babe. Your brain's like, hold the push-button landline phone with curved features. What if we let go of this crap and nothing better comes along? And that's a valid fear, except it's total bullshit. I know this because I've been there. Oh, I have been there. I've clung to relationships that were deader than parachute pants. I've stayed in jobs that made my soul want to hurl itself into another dimension. I've held on to painful memories and self-disappointment like I was clutching the latest Gucci handbag that I bought when I couldn't afford it because I had an axe to grind. What I'm saying is letting go is fucking hard, because if it wasn't, we'd all be out here glowing like enlightened Care Bears. Even letting go of things when we know they are not serving us, whether it's an old flame, a painful memory, or an outdated idea of our life, is one of the hardest emotional tasks we face. I mean, that seems so counterintuitive, right? If something hurts us or holds us back, shouldn't it be easy to just drop it like it's hot? Yet for most of us, letting go feels more like prying our fingers off a cliff edge than tossing out the emotional garbage. And you know what? That's okay. Because letting go isn't just about throwing things away. It's about grieving, forgiving, and dare I say, healing. Holding on to shit feels safe. It's your comfort zone, even if it is toxic. And letting go is scary as hell. Your brain's like, what if I fall? And your soul answers, oh my darling, what if you fly? And your brain's like, yes. Right into a window that was so clean it looked like it was open, and then I slam right into it and break my nose off and become traumatized for the rest of my life with no nose, and I have to smell shit through a tube for the rest of my life and never enjoy lavender again. And your soul responds, anything is possible. And your brain says, well, then I'll just stay here in this comfort zone and watch reruns. So what are some of the things that can cause letting go to be so dang hard? One of the obstacles is the fear of the unknown. What if I let go of this and nothing better comes along? What if I regret it? This is another fear that can keep us stuck in familiar patterns even when they're painful or unfulfilling. Eckhart Tolle, author of The Power of Now, calls this the fear of the void and says that the mind loves familiarity even when it's painful. Pain becomes part of our identity, and letting go feels like losing a part of ourselves. He explains that people identify with suffering because it feels familiar. This belief creates a false identity of safety in staying stuck. He says, when we let go, we create space. That space, while full of potential, can feel terrifying because it forces us to confront the unknown, and sometimes letting go is an act of far greater power than defending or hanging on. So the idea is the void isn't empty, it's full of possibilities. The scary part isn't that you'll lose yourself, it's that you may finally meet your true self, who you might not yet know. Brené Brown, a research professor and author of Daring Greatly, explains that humans are storytellers by nature. She says, we create narratives about our lives to make sense of the world and our place in it. For example, that breakup defined me as someone who's unlovable. I'm not successful because I made that one bad decision. I can't change careers because I've already invested so much in this one. Brown says letting go requires rewriting that story, which is scary, but also liberating. Another difficulty in letting go is that letting go feels like losing control. Mark Epstein, a psychiatrist and author of The Trauma of Everyday Life 10 out of 10, integrates Buddhist philosophy with modern psychology. Epstein suggests that attachment and the need to control often arises as a response to trauma and unresolved emotional pain. When we experience loss, hurt, or disappointment, we attach to people, ideas, or identities as a way of feeling safe or in control. However, clinging to these attachments only intensifies suffering. Epstein explains that attachments trap us in patterns of avoidance or rumination, preventing us from fully processing events and experiencing life in the present moment. Alan Watts often described attachment as a form of control that blocks us from experiencing life fully. He compared letting go to learning how to flow with life instead of resisting it. Watts believed that attachment arises because we seek security and certainty in a fundamentally uncertain universe. He argued that our need to grasp and control things stems from a misunderstanding of life itself, and letting go requires accepting that life is fluid and uncontrollable, a lesson most of us resist with every fiber of our being. When we are considering why letting go of shit is hard, let's not forget our good friend, the negativity bias. Dr. Rick Hanson, author of Hardwiring Happiness, suggests that our difficulty letting go of painful experiences is rooted in the negativity bias, a feature in our brain which evolved as a survival mechanism. For more on the negativity bias, check out episode 7, A Light in the Negativity Bias Shitstorm. One of the brain's primary goals is to protect us from harm, so it tends to prioritize negative events and the emotions associated with them, especially those tied to significant hurt or danger. Basically, the brain wants you to remember the hurt to protect you. When something painful happens, whether it's a breakup, a betrayal, or a traumatic event, your brain flags it as important, as a potential future danger, so you'll be more alert to similar situations in the future. In evolutionary terms, this is how our ancestors learned to avoid things like, poisonous plants or dangerous predators. In modern life, your brain applies the same logic to emotional threats, like heartbreak or failure. It's as if your brain is saying, don't forget this pain, because if you do, you might walk into the same trap again. Your brain essentially keeps replaying the hurtful event like a how-to manual for avoiding pain. The problem is, instead of making you safer, it often keeps you stuck in fear and prevents you from moving forward. It resists letting go. The brain sees letting go as risky because it feels like forgetting could make you vulnerable. It's like your brain thinks, if I let this go, I might not see it coming next time. Hanson argues that while the negativity bias is deeply ingrained, it's not unchangeable. To help your brain let go of old hurts, you need to teach it that letting go isn't dangerous. Another reason that letting go of shit is hard is because emotional attachments run deep, girl, and we may need to grieve those losses. Dr. Susan Krauss-Whitborn, a professor of psychology and brain sciences, explains that we form emotional attachments because they fulfill psychological needs, even when those needs are unhealthy. For example, staying attached to an ex may provide a false sense of connection or safety, even though they've moved on. Clinging to painful events might give us a sense of identity, like the person who was betrayed or the one who overcame. Holding on to outdated dreams about our lives can feel like honoring our past selves, even if those dreams no longer align with reality. Whitburn explains that these attachments become habits, neural pathways in the brain, and breaking them can feel like ripping out a part of yourself. So letting go can feel painful because emotional attachments, even toxic ones, light up the brain's reward system. Holding on to outdated dreams about our lives can feel like honoring our past selves, even if those dreams no longer align with reality. Whitborn explains that these attachments become habits, neural pathways in the brain, and breaking them can feel like ripping out a part of yourself. So letting go can feel painful because emotional attachments, even toxic ones, light up the brain's reward system. This is why we sometimes romanticize people who hurt us or feel nostalgic about a past that wasn't even that great. Our brains are tricky, like rocking a rhyme. So in our journey toward letting go, we need to recognize that grief is a part of the process of letting go. Renowned grief researcher Dr. Elizabeth Kübler-Ross identified that loss, whether it's of a person, a dream, or a version of yourself, triggers a grieving process. Even when we're letting go of something we know isn't good for us, it can feel like a death. And we may have to go through the stages of grief until we can let it go. The stages of denial, anger, bargaining, depression, and eventually acceptance. This means letting go isn't just a decision, it's an emotional journey. So it's a process. And sometimes the stages of grief take time, girl. Say you're trying to get over an ex. Going through the stages of grief might look something like this. Stage 1, denial. I don't accept this. I know this is wrong. I know we're supposed to be together and this person needs to see that. And maybe one day they will see that. This relationship, it shouldn't be over. This shouldn't be the way it is or the way it will always be. I know they love me. And deep down, they really want to be with me, even though they've moved on already. This line of thinking is also called delulu. Stage 2, anger. I am so fucking mad at that person for hurting me. They are such a fucking asshole, prick, jerk, twat, and everything else. I hope karma kicks their ass. No, I'm fucking mad at myself. I fucked it up like I always do. They're great, and I'm the jerk-hole ass twat. It can go back and forth like this for a hot minute. Stage 3, bargaining. What if, okay, just stay with me on this. I let go of my need to be respected, cared for, feel special, and be understood. You know? Maybe I was too demanding. Maybe I need to be less demanding. Maybe my standards are unattainable for anyone to fulfill. Maybe it's me. Maybe I need to change. Maybe I was just too me. Maybe I should be less of who I am and more of who I think they needed me to be. You know? What if we got back together and I put all my energy into helping this person be happier and more able to love me and receive my love? Huh? Maybe that could work to get them back and keep them. Stage 4, depression. It's because of who I am. I wasn't anything enough. I wasn't everything enough. I wasn't enough. I'm not enough for anyone. And when we do the inner work and open ourselves to learning about what is causing us to cling to the past, we eventually come to stage 5, acceptance. After a lot of soul searching, I can now see that I have no control over life or other people, and that I did the best I could. And that actually is enough. I've looked at myself honestly and let this painful experience teach me more about myself and how to love and accept myself more. Because even though I hoped for this person to come back into my life, when I really thought about it, we really were very different about the way we saw relationships. Taking care of myself by allowing myself to grieve so that I could accept the reality that the relationship didn't work out and accept myself for who I am and not to choose to try to be someone I'm not is the greatest gift I could give myself. I can see now that this person and this relationship came into my life to teach me to love myself no matter who loves me or not. And that is fucking invaluable. Because accepting ourselves as we are and for all of our mistakes, all our flaws, all our humanness is the ultimate love fest. And maybe might be the key to letting go of a lot of the old shit. Buddhist teacher Thich Nhat Hanh writes, "To let go is not to deny, but to accept. When we let go, we give ourselves the freedom to truly live." Grief isn't something to skip over. It's something we move through over time with compassion for ourselves. Okay, Suzanne, so how the fuck do we start letting shit go? Okay, calm the fuck down and I will fucking tell you. I had to give you some fucking backstory for crying out loud. And now I present some teachings, tools, and practices that can help our brainsies let go of shit. And remember, this process isn't a one and done. Sometimes you think you've let go of something and then it pops back up like, surprise, bitch, I'm still here. And that's okay. Healing isn't linear. The important thing is to just keep showing up for yourself because you're worth it, babe. And as I always remind you, you are fucking magnifiskis. Okay, so firstly, let's fucking reframe our perception of letting shit go so we can become more willing to be willing to let shit go. To do this, we can, number one, acknowledge and honor what the brain is trying to do for us. Recognize that in holding on to old shit, your brain is just trying to keep you safe. Thank it for its efforts, but remind your brain that the threat is no longer present. If it's no longer present, of course. Number two, flip it, babe, and focus on growth instead of avoidance. Instead of focusing on avoiding pain, shift your mindset to seeking growth and ask yourself, what did this experience teach me and how can I apply that wisdom in my life moving forward? Something to consider when shit won't leave our brains no matter how hard we try is that maybe a lesson is waiting to be learned. Pema Chodron reminds us nothing ever goes away until it has taught us what we need to know. Sometimes we can't let go because we haven't absorbed all of the wisdom the experience is trying to teach us. And number three, reframe letting go as safe. Actively remind yourself that letting go doesn't mean forgetting or ignoring the lesson. It just means releasing the emotional weight attached to the memory. Now, here are some cute-ass actionables that we can do to help us let go of old shit that's bringing us down. Number one, we can seek support. Whether it's therapy, spiritual guidance, or a trusted friend, you don't have to navigate the process of letting go alone. And share your goal of letting go with any therapist you work with. Number two, allow ourselves to feel the feelings yearning to be felt. As psychologist Susan David says in Emotional Agility, discomfort is the price of admission to a meaningful life. Let yourself grieve, feel it, and then let it pass through you. When the grief, sadness, anger, fear about the old shit comes up, feel your feelings. Disclaimer. In a safe environment, of course. Number three, practice compassion. Letting go isn't a one-time thing, it's a practice. You might let go of something today only to find yourself clutching it again tomorrow. That's okay. Be gentle with yourself. Progress, not perfection. Number four, recognize that you were and are enough. No, but really though. Tara Brach, teacher of mindfulness and author of Radical Acceptance, 10 out of 10, refers to the trance of unworthiness, saying that when we feel fundamentally unsafe or inadequate, we attempt to control people, situations, or memories to feel secure. She says, when we stop being at war with ourselves, we begin to trust the flow of life. Self-blame keeps us stuck in the illusion that we could have controlled what happened. We can begin to remember the truth of who we are, beings of love, belonging, and infinite worth. A great tool for reframing past hurtful experiences where you can't let go because you're blaming yourself is in Byron Katie's book, The Work, 10 out of 10. Accountability and self-awareness is one thing, blame is another. One is about shit you have control over, the other is about shit you don't. And as you learn healthy ways to see letting go and take the time to implement some of these cute-ass practices, you naturally make room for new shit. Show her what she's won, Bob. Why, she's won room for new shit. As spiritual teacher Deepak Chopra says, in the process of letting go, you will lose many things from the past, but you will find yourself. So, what do you want to invite in? Joy, peace, love, a sexy Italian who cooks for you and doesn't leave his socks on the floor? Yes, please. This is the fun part. Once you've cleared out the old, you get to decide what you want to invite in. New opportunities, healthier relationships, more joy, a deep sense of, I'm a badass and I deserve good things. Because, babe, you do 100. Now you might be like, gee, Suzanne, I wish you would share a cool exercise/ritual for letting go of old shit, making room for new shit, for the new year. And then I'd be like, OMG, how the fuck did you know I was going to do that? Okay, here is a cool exercise that can serve as the genesis of your letting go journey. You can come back to this exercise again and again as you continue to let go of the old shit, make room for new shit. Okay, get a piece of paper and write shit I would like to let go of at the top. And make a list of all the shit you would like to let go of. The habits, the beliefs, the grudges, the unhealthy relationships, the expired almond milk in your fridge. It could be things like the person I'm having trouble getting over who's now married with 3 kids. The job I didn't get, the mistakes I made, the belief that I'm not good enough, my fear of taking risks, etc., etc., etc. Step 2. When you're finished with your list, read it, take it in, be with it for a moment. You can thank all the shit on your list for being in your life for what you've learned. You can say fuck you to everything on the list. Fuck off. Don't let the door hit you in the ass. Anything. And then rip it up and chuck it. Step 3. Get a fresh piece of paper. And at the top of the page, write, new shit I would like to make room for in my life. Take a moment and let your imagination run wild. Write it all down. Be as extravagant as fuck or as detailed as you'd like. I want to fly all over the world and wear a different wig in each country. I want to start a business raising hamsters as support animals. I want to take ballet lessons. I want to learn how to drive stick shift. Be more open to new things and new people. Be more forgiving of myself and others. Exercise more, laugh more, and on and on. And after you've written all that new shit down, take a moment to enjoy what you wrote. Now, choose one new shit from the new shit I would like to make room for in my life list that might be something that you could decide to take some baby shit steps toward realizing. And at the top of a new piece of paper, write down that one new shit from your new shit I would like to make room for in my life list that you chose. And under that new shit, write 10 baby shit steps that you could take toward making that new shit a reality in your life. Make a schedule for yourself to do one of those 10 baby shit steps a day, or a week, or even a month, whatever feels okay to you, and just start. And when you've gotten through those 10 baby shit steps, maybe you will have made that new shit a reality in your life. If not, add another 10 baby shit steps and keep it going. And then start a new paper with a new list to bring other new shit into your life. Make sure to put the piece of paper with your new shit I would like to make room for in my life list somewhere you can either see it or take it out and look at it. Copy it onto your phone, anything. This exercise isn't the end. It's just the beginning. And letting shit go is a practice. I know this work is hard. I know it's scary. but I also know you are a fucking badass motherfucker. Think of it this way. You've survived 100% of your worst days so far, and you're still here. So that means you've got what it takes to let go of the shit that is no longer serving you. Letting go of shit may be hard, but on the other side of that difficulty is freedom. Freedom to grow, to love, and to thrive. So tonight, as the clock strikes midnight, I want you to take a deep breath and say, I release all the shit that no longer serves me, and I welcome new, awesome shit. And celebrate your growth, the person you're becoming, and all the badass, beautiful, messy, wonderful things waiting for you. And if you're not ready yet, that's okay too. You'll get there in your own time. All right, you motherfucking superstars. Happy New Year, happy new cycle, happy new you, all of it. This has been the Spiritual Shitshow podcast. I see you, I love you, and I say yes to your amazingness. I'll see you on the next one.